Urban Meyer's Pint House. DJ, I don't know about you, but there's nowhere else I'd rather be on a Saturday night than Urban Meyer's Pint House. And I dove into it a little bit deeper, and I saw that they have a drink there called Shelley's Frosé. It's frozen rosé wine, Wheatley vodka, fresh strawberries, and lemon. I'm setting the over under at 4.5 on number of Shelley's frosés that girl had before she was grinding on Urban. You going over or under 4.5?
Uh, oh God. Oh, I don't know. There's more to this story that I want to add. I'll go under because she was deceiving him. Her.
I think she was deceiving him. I'm going to have one beer right now and then follow it up with a couple other. But for the time being, let's just get loaded because this is the Loaded Box Podcast,
where we never finish first because we finish last.
DJ, I find one of the most fascinating parts of the Urban Meyer story is the fact that there's a chance that he had to go and buy that girl a drink. And when he got up to the bar, he's like, yeah, I'll take one of Shelley's Froze. Like, oh, that's my wife's name. Like, that could have been a thing that happened.
No, even worse, Ben. You haven't seen this, have you? Even worse. There's a huge picture of him and his wife in the bar, and there's evidence of it over the bar. So everybody there could see this picture of him and his wife at this bar as she's getting grinded on by some college girl.
Maybe it's not cheating in that sense then. Maybe he's looking at that picture. She's grinding on him. He's kind of got his eyes closed. He's envisioning it's Shelley. Mm-hmm. There's an opportunity there. I'm Team Urban there now. You talked me into it.
This guy, I wanted to talk about this, but this guy is a disgrace to not even the game of football, but to the NFL. He's coming in there. I don't know if you heard the story about the CJ Henderson issue, and he had some troubles, and then he said in an interview, he's like, I talked to CJ and his mom. These are grown-ass men. This is not college. Why are you talking to an NFL player's mom? Like, who does that? He's having them hustle to get water. He's saying, like, oh, this is not, it's on the players to play for me, essentially. Like, they own the team to gain respect. He lied to them about what happened. No coach has ever stayed after a game and let the whole team fly back in the history of the NFL unless there was an emergency. This guy, even in the preseason, like before the season when they drafted ETN, when he was doing the wrestling thing, everything he's done up to this point, how he's going to use ETN, everything he's done has been a whole joke. And then he's trying to blame Trevor Lawrence. Not even blame Trevor Lawrence. He throws him under the bus.
Throws him under the bus. Holy shit.
This guy is
you got to be careful if you're going to Vegas. You got to be careful. You're getting life advice from Herb?
Yeah, and all the pictures that have come out, the alternate angle where he gets the thumb up to the butthole. Everything.
Checking the oil a little bit.
Oil. It's this guy. I've never been so mad.
I showed you that quote. If you can read that right there. As the legend once said, you have to appreciate the grind. Urban Meyer.
This guy is a disgrace to humanity. I've hated him since the second he left Florida, and I knew he was lying. You tried to defend him. I know you can't defend him anymore. It's just he's going to be at USC before we know it. This is Bobby Petrino.
They've got their annual home game next week in London as well, so that'll be fun.
Wait, that's next week because there is one this weekend.
There is one this week.
It's not the Jags.
It's the early morning one. I think the next one's not the early morning one. But yes, DJ, we have reached NFL Week 5. We're like a quarter-ish way through the season here, and DJ, you kind of came crashing back down to earth. You were like damn near undefeated last week, and you proceeded to go just 2-5 with your top bets.
Oh, I got 2 wins?
You did get 2 wins, but you lost your big one. So you lost 1.4 units. But guess what, DJ? When you're down, I just take the loaded box. I throw it on my shoulder. I just throw it on my massive Jalen Waddle jersey. We'll get there. I went 3-1. I went 3-1 for the week. But yeah, for the season, you're still above 500. You're 13-11. And
$3,000 for you $100 bettors.
Exactly. You're plus 3 units, and I am plus a unit, and I am 10-7. So DJ, with that, let's kick into week 5. So I'm going to bring this first one up here if you're watching on Twitter or YouTube. DJ's got the Packers -3 at Bengals. So when he updated the agenda, and then when I copy and paste it into our stream here, DJ this week I noticed decided not to go with units, but rather he's going with unis. So my theory, and you can go, you can tell me why, but my theory is here. the whole idea of like, I sucked last week when I called it a uni. When I called it a unit, I'm going to get creative, call it a uni, and see if that works.
When I was typing it out, I was calling them unis in my head. So I'm just like, I'm gonna fucking go with unis. Like I was like, I got 1 uni, 3 unis. It sounds kind of cute. I look cute. I think it matches my whole, personality. And I'm a cute guy. So I go with cute words.
I thought the first one was an error, and then I realized that it wasn't, so I just left the rest.
Nope, I kept typing it in. Unis. I was like, it kind of sounds cool. I'm gonna go unis. So they're called unis now.
If it works, we'll see it in week 6 as well, won't we?
Yes, absolutely. This is the default pick. Okay, so I'm not gonna get much into this. I also decided on Friday Night Lights or Friday Night Lines. I always fuck that up.
No one mispronounces the name of their own show more than you.
Mm-hmm. I decided on the Friday Night Lines. I'm not going to ever give the Packers anymore. I'm not going to give my guaranteed college bets. Like I'm not going to give my Cincinnati and Wake Forest. Those are default picks. I'll tell you I'm going to bet them, but I'm not going to give them away as the bets because those should be automatic. It's a default pick since this is the Low Box Podcast. We talk about the bets, what we're going to bet on in every game. I'm betting the Packers -3 as always. 0.3 unis. Let's go. I don't need any more explanation.
Yeah, I guess I knew, like, I didn't even need to look at your bets before just to know, like, okay, well, I see that it's only 3. I'm like, DJ's definitely going with the Packers.
It could be 54.
Dude, look at you. Did you watch last Thursday's game with the Bengals and Jags, right?
Of course,
Yeah, I'm sorry. You were a primetime gambling degenerate, prop bet man. I don't go terrible question. Terrible question.
I was really offended right there when you asked me that question.
The Bengals were bad in that first half.
Yeah.
They came to life in the second half.
Though. They've struggled in the first halves of most of their games.
What concerns me is the fact, so they did come to life. They did get the win, but they came to life against the team whose coach is now in the hottest, slipperiest Shelley's froze water that we've ever seen.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how much to put into that. Does playing in Cincinnati bother you? It seems like a weird spot to play.
More. I'm worried about Jair Alexander because he's probably not going to play one way or the other.
Yeah.
He's either done for the season or coming back and playing. Like there's only 2 options. There's either coming back like either this Sunday or the following Sunday, or done for the season and getting surgery. Now they're trying to avoid it. Eric Stokes has been playing well. Kevin King is mysteriously off of the concussion protocol. Weird now that he got hurt, but he was in it the last 2.5 weeks because nobody wants him on the team. But they're like, now we need him. They couldn't get Stephon Gilmore today. They tried, but they could not. They literally could not trade for him. And Patriots put word out that the Packers were going to sign him. I'm reading if he got to free agency. So the Panthers went in there and made that trade. They were going to get Stephon Gilmore if he got. That was the only way they could get him because they couldn't take on his contract cap situation. They would have had like 100,000 left in cap, which doesn't work for practice squad stuff. But we'll see. Their offense still isn't great. They still struggle on the offensive line. Jamar Chase is good, but Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. So this is still an average football team, if not even. I'd still put them to average right now and still working their way up. Their defense has played well.
Yeah, I don't mind that. If I were to tell somebody to bet on the Packers, I would say do it now because I don't think it's going to go the other way. Like I did it before; it's 3.5. I don't think it's going to drop much. So that'd be my take on it.
It'll probably stay right to 3 and 3.5. I don't see it moving very much on the road.
I just don't
Aaron
want that
Rodgers defense out. It's interesting.
Yeah. Well, what's become a weekly tradition, I find myself betting on the football team again this week. Took a miracle last week. That was a miracle win against the Falcons. The Falcons defense or not the Falcons. The football team's defense was supposed to be good. They're
the worst. Yeah. And the Rams are bad too right now.
But here I am betting against them because I think, Daniel Jones threw for like 400 some yards against the Saints last week, and Saquon had a nice breakout game, and they were doing all that without Sterling Shepard, without Darius Slayton. They basically had Kenny Galladay. You see Kadarius Toney?
I heard he did something.
He did what all of the Florida Gators highlight tapes said that he would do. Like he's just a joystick with the ball. He doesn't get tackled. He's like he's a mismatch when he gets the ball. The problem is getting him the ball and having him catch it. But seemed to work out once. I wouldn't bank too much on it.
No, it's the NFL still, so.
I'm still, even though it's week 5, I'm still on that kick of, man, I think Washington can still be okay despite playing with their backup quarterback, despite the defense not looking that great. And I'm still just not that high on the Saints. Honestly, like I've got the football team +2 and I'm going 0.2 units on it. Thinking back, I probably should have just said do the money line Because what are the odds it's a 1 or 2 point game? You're probably not going to get great odds with the money line, but I like football team getting 2 points, and I like the money line play as well. But
if
I'm
you were smart
officially
like
carding
me,
the units.
if you were smart like me, you would have done the money line because I later in this thing did the money line for a different football game, but your brain doesn't work at the same pace as mine as a degenerate. This one would be a no play for me. I don't like anything about it.
You know what, though? These next couple here, our brains were working almost in unison when we did these. I combined some of our bets because we had so many plays on the same game. If you're watching this one on Twitter and YouTube, look what I just put up.
Holy shit, I'm confused.
I've got the Panthers -3 versus the Eagles for 2.2 units. DJ has the Panthers for -3.5 versus the Eagles for 0.2 unis. And then DJ also has the under 45 in this game for 0.1 uni. And DJ, I'm going to lead this one off here and tell you, I also, on my betting website, had the Panthers at -3.5. But you know what I'm going to do?
Oh, God. You're going to buy the half point like a little bitch.
There's a hook. It's on the shelf. It's for sale, and I'm buying it. I am buying the hook in this game. I think the Eagles are going to win this one straight up. Not the Eagles. The Panthers. I'm sorry about that. As you just eat on your weekly Wednesday pizza, you are a machine. Is Wednesday always pizza night at your house?
Yeah, it's a hurry because we have football and then we come back and we got to make pizza. We got nothing else to do.
I love Wednesday traditions like what you have right there. I live vicariously through you eating your pizza. But yeah, I like the Panthers here. I am going to knock it down to 3 at some point. I do see the Panthers coming back to life. I said it in our group DM earlier today. I have the Panthers going 7-10 this year, despite the fact that I have them starting the season like 4-1 or 5-1, whatever I ended up having them. It's going to happen at some point. I don't think it's going to be this week. Still not a believer in that Eagles unit. I still like what the Panthers are doing on the defensive side of the ball. Gilmore's not going to do anything right away. He was on PUP. He wasn't even eligible to play.
Doesn't he technically, does that go away if he leaves the team? How does that work?
I'm not 100% sure on that. I'd have to ask the PUP capologist guy, but I don't have the information on that. But I like what the Panthers defense is doing. Sam Darnold somehow leads the NFL in rushing touchdowns. DJ Moore, are you spot on him? He's guaranteed for 8 catches, 100 yards, and a touchdown every week.
I love him. I love DJ Moore. I love everything.
That's what's going to happen next. Defenses are going to fly his way. Robbie Anderson is going to have a huge game at some point here. I don't think McCaffrey's back yet. I saw he practiced
today.
Yeah, he practiced today. But even if he doesn't, I don't think that's the end of the world against this Eagles team. I'm going to it's in Carolina. I'm backing that down to 3. I'm going 0.2 units on it. You obviously feel very similar to me, but you also have the underplay in this one.
Yeah, I think the Panthers are. I don't think the Eagles are very good offensively. I'm on the record. I do not like Jalen Hurts as a quarterback. I don't think he should have been drafted in the first 5 rounds as a quarterback. He struggles to read defenses, and his reads are late and slow and Tua-y. And like I said, this is a great, like you just said, I mean, this is a great Panthers defense. So, I mean, a struggling offense, basically no running game, with Jalen Hurts at quarterback against a very solid defense right now who went all defensive players 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Already pay it off. They're going to struggle to score. They're going to really struggle to score the football. The Eagles are also good up front. I think it's going to be a really slow football game. Like I think it's going to be, you're going to be looking at 10 points after the first quarter or first half. I think the Panthers will pull away in a little bit in the second half, but it won't be crazy. I think they win by about 10-ish, like 10-20, something like that, 13-23. I don't know, somewhere in that range. I don't know if they reach 40. So I do like the under for that reason. And the Panthers are just a straight up better team. 10 points. Maybe I should have. Hopefully it goes down to 3. So I hate that hook, but we'll see.
Here's the deal, man. Just buy it. Pay a little bit. Pay a little bit. Splurge, big guy. Splurge. And this is what I was talking about earlier, because you say I'm not on the same wavelength as you. However, I was going through this and I saw the Chargers versus the Browns, and I'm like, why even mess around with that spread there? I'm going to take the Chargers money line. I am going to pay a little bit more once again. $1. And then here I go. I see DJ did it, and you did it for your lucky 0.7 unit bet that I don't think you've lost any of them yet this year doing that.
I don't think so. No, because I didn't bet one last week.
But man, we are on the same freaking wavelength here. We're both taking the Chargers. Money line against the Browns. What was the spread? It was Chargers like -2,
1.5, I think.
1.5
is what
or
I saw
2.
that, so I wasn't fucking with that.
Yeah, I don't like that because I learned last week betting against the Browns. I think the Vikings scored on like their first or second possession and never scored again.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
It was an unreal game of football. Baker was just. Let's talk about this for a second.
Okay. I've been ready to bring him up.
That Baker Odell Beckham connection. It's very puzzling, and it's almost like Baker just gets a little bit too nervous when he's targeting Odell, and he decides to force it, and then rather than like throwing like a nice arcing lob to Odell, who would have scored on the play, he gets antsy and tries to get it to him right away. He throws it behind him. It's not there. It's almost like they need to force it to make it happen. So that's a little bit concerning to me. But that Browns team is still so good. Like I like what they're doing running the ball. Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb is a great 1-2 punch at running back. Their defense is good. So I'm a little bit hesitant because this is that type of game that can be separated by a point. So I'm not sprinkling much on this one. I'm not near as confident as you. I'm only going 0.2 units, but I can't pass on the Chargers at home in this game.
I just think Cleveland's so average and their quarterback is so average. They have a very good running game, but like once you go up against a solid offense that's going to be able to put up points against you, they're screwed. They are Wisconsin Badgers, not this year.
That could be.
Wisconsin Badgers suck this year, but of the past where like they need to play ahead, and when they play like an actual athletic quarterback or a good quarterback with athletic wide receivers, they're just outmatched. And when they get behind, they cannot do anything to catch up. Baker is more average, is more bad than good. Like he's just not. He's nothing exciting, but
he's puzzling though, because look at him last year. He wasn't like awesome when Odell was there, but he started looking like a top like 12-ish quarterback in the league in that second half of the year once Odell was gone. It was really weird.
Browns fans are going to be perfectly okay with it because they're finally winning, and since he's not losing the games, they're just like, okay. But he's not going to win you a game. That's the thing. Baker Mayfield is not going to win the game for you. He is the definition of the actual game manager. He's out there playing Trent Dilfer. He's out there playing Rex Grossman type of offense. He's doing Alex Smith, all three of those guys. That's what he's doing for this team. He's not good, right? It's not going to be a starter to me for his entire career. He's eventually, within the next 3 to 5 years, I think he's going to be a backup. I really do. Because they're going to get sick of him not doing anything in the playoffs because he can't take him to that next level. And eventually they're going to have to move on, like Andy Dalton, that type of stuff. It's just going to be what it is.
I think they need to force a breakup between the guy he's forcing the ball to and then see what happens. Because I'm not that anti-Baker. Like I like Baker coming into the draft.
He's never going to get them where they need to go. The Chargers are good. They're going to take a lead. They're not going to be able to come back. Yeah, they're going to win this game at home. They're just better than the Browns, and their run defense played pretty solidly the other night. But like, if they get the lead, the Browns are. If they got a 10 to 14 point lead, Browns start to panic. They don't know what to do. Their whole game plan's out the window.
It's hard for me to disagree with that. Obviously, I'm on the same side as you. I probably can't even add too much more. I just want to say I'm not as down on Baker as you. Like I don't think it's an outright him problem. However, I can't look this up right now. Through 4 weeks, does he only have like 2 passing touchdowns? He doesn't have that many.
I don't know. I'm too busy eating, but I would guess. I mean, they scored 2 touchdowns last week. Who knows?
It's been all on the ground and everything. And I think Kareem Hunt has caught one, but Jarvis Landry has like run in a touchdown this year. I don't think Odell's only played that one game, but they're not doing a ton through the air right now. And if you play the Chargers in this game, and we saw what the Chargers can do, even when Herbert's made like a couple, like he missed like 6 straight passes at one point. They made note of that. And then he turned into a Hall of Fame quarterback immediately after. And it was day and night. Like he flipped the switch and their offense just started clicking again.
And I think the Browns
defense is a bit better than what he's going to see with the Raiders. So I'm a bit more nervous than you in this one, but I can't turn this opportunity down.
My one criticism of Herbert, I love him as a quarterback. He missed Mike Williams. He does not know how to. He will not throw the ball in like an arc. Yeah. Everything is a fucking dart. Once he adds that, he'll take to another level. He's already really good. Don't get me wrong. But he's like Josh Allen's first year. He wants to throw rockets, everything.
That was a touchdown to Mike Williams.
Yeah, it was a touchdown. But he just threw a dart, a laser, and he just needed to lay it out there for him. I'm like, dude, take something off the ball every now and then. We know you have a good arm. There's no denying that. You're one of the few guys now that can throw it across the field on a laser, and it's not a bad throw.
Right.
When you got a guy open, give him a chance to get it. Like, just put it up there. He's wide open. Like, that's a touchdown. Even if not, he catches it and gets tackled if you are behind him. But you'd rather have him catch it than throw it incomplete.
Yeah, he is kind of having that same like trajectory as like Josh Allen. Like, people question his decision making and his accuracy, and he's starting to debunk those faster than what Allen did. But yeah, like you said, if he takes that next step and he does learn to have a little bit of touch on certain passes here and there, that team is going to be dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
They're a good team.
Very dangerous.
Right. Another one, DJ, where we both have a play on the same game, but it's a different play for each of us. The 49ers Cardinals game. I'm going over the total of 50 total points for 0.2 units. DJ, it looks like you're taking the 49ers, getting 5.5 points. This game is at Arizona. You're going 0.3 units. Have you heard anything new on the Garoppolo situation, or is it going to be Trey Lance?
I don't know who it's going to be, but I haven't heard anything new.
I went into this bet saying that if Trey Lance is the quarterback, I especially love the over in this one. I think he just adds another element that you don't get to truly game plan for. But if there's one thing I would say, like why I kind of second guessed myself and didn't make this a bigger play, this is the kind of quarterback that Arizona's been going up against in practice forever now with Kyler Murray. Like, they know how to potentially stop a quarterback that can run the ball. But there's more to Trey Lance, obviously, than just running. He's not the guy that's going to tuck it every single play. I mean, we saw last week. He threw 2 touchdowns after he came in, the long one to Debo, a short one to Debo. And then that Cardinals offense, what they just do to the Rams, they put up like 30-some points, and they got it done through the ground. That team did it on the ground with Chase Edmonds and James Conner. And I think if they can continue to add that element to it, they're going to score 30 a week. And their defense, I mean, they've got like Chandler Jones, he's crushed it on the edge, especially that one week where he just wrecked everyone. It was Tannehill and the Titans. But man, like, I still think their defense is going to give up some points. And I think the 49ers, with Trey Lance, with his versatility on the ground, I think they're going to score some points this week. So even if this game, I mean, we're talking 35-21, 35-24, that's an easy over of 50. The only reason I didn't go more is just because there is still a little bit of uncertainty to me regarding the whole like Trey Lance thing and potentially making his first career start. So I'm going to go 0.2 on the over.
I just disagree. I'm going to die on this hill. I'm going to die on this take. I'm still not. I think the Rams came in with the wrong plan, or not wrong, but just like the Cardinals actually had Cliff Kingsbury actually called the right offense for the first time in his career, and struck gold in that game, which he just hasn't. Like, he's just not. He hasn't been a good coach. That was his best coaching game. Everybody's talking about it. I really think this team is very fluky. I'm still into that fluky area. I think Kyler Murray is apt to make a ton of mistakes. They did a perfectly called game. They took Kyler Murray's mistakes out of there. That's the best thing that he's done, is taken away his chance to make mistakes in those big games, which has been his issue the last 2 years up to this point. He did a good job of that. I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball consistently. That's just not what they do. The Rams defensively fucked up, and they got out coached. That doesn't happen with Cliff Kingsbury. I think you're going to see there's going to be a point in this season where it's going to flip, and the Cardinals are going to lose 2 out of 3, 3 out of 4, and everybody's going to be like, what's going on with the Cardinals? The Niners are going to beat this team. I am sprinkling money line. I'm going to give you guys plus 5.5, plus 3 unis. I just still don't believe in this team, because eventually these people are going to get so hot in the Cardinals because they fell so in love with the sexiness. I'm not there yet. They're not there yet. I'm telling you right now. Okay. You can come back to me at week 10. You can say I look like an idiot. That's okay. I'm confident in this take.
I just think so. I look at the 49ers and like defensively.
I don't care who's that quarterback.
Well, but I'm talking defense, 49ers. Who do I get scared of? It's the first thing, Nick Bosa.
Yeah.
If he's coming around the edge and he's coming fast, he's going 1,000,000 miles per hour trying to get to him. Kyler is that quarterback that all he's going to do is scurry around, and he's either going to run for 12 yards or he's going to
tons of trouble in his career so far, though.
He's gotten into trouble doing that, yes. However,
Lots
the
of times.
49ers, like defensive backs, are not elite anymore. He's also extended plays and made these long ass touchdowns by extending the play. So you take the good with the bad. So I think Bosa and those rushers, they're going to have to be disciplined. They're not going to be able to just go flying around the edge because Kyler can make them play. At the same time, what do you do against that, though? You got to have a hell of a defensive game plan. And I don't think the 49ers are just equipped to do too much with that right now. So rather than picking a side, I'm just going to go the over. Like, it just seems like such a more safer play.
What,
I saw this number at 50, DJ. I expected to see 54, 55.
I think you're getting it, and lots of people are getting it twisted. I just took a bite, of course. But again, the last 2 games, they haven't let Kyler Murray do as much, which has limited the turnovers. He's only had, I think, three touchdown passes. I have him in fantasy in the last 2 games. They've been running the ball more. That's giving him less mistakes to be made. I think that the Niners can stop the run without having to bring extra guys, and it's going to cause them troubles because they won't be able to run like they were the last 2 games. And then they're going to have to do it to Kyler Murray, and that's when he starts to make those mistakes.
My favorite thing about – I will watch. My favorite thing right now is we got a couple more games to dissect here is we've got a couple of comments just waiting in the hopper. We've been talking about gambling on games straight up the entire time. And all of the questions pertain to fantasy football start sits. So I'm just going to sit on those.
Of course.
One, I've got 2 sleeping kids upstairs, both at this point wild cards. I need to be efficient with my time. We're here to talk gambling. So, DJ, you just talked about the Rams. I'm going to turn it over to you. You've got the Rams on this one. You're doubling down here. This is the Thursday night
Tomorrow
game?
night.
Yeah, Thursday night.
Yeah, Rams dominate the Seahawks historically. I said this last week, but they do. Donald owes, and I said this last year, and it came true. Whenever Aaron Donald plays against Russell Wilson, I feel like I'm deja vu right now because I said this a year ago, probably at around the same time. It's the exact same thing every year. It's just like he's throwing around constantly. It just seems like whenever Russell Wilson drops back, Aaron Donald is standing right there. I have to keep rolling with that. Like, that's what I've seen the last 2-3 years between these 2 guys. I cannot stop. It's just, that's all you remember. And they continually cover and beat the Seahawks and win those bets. So I'm going to keep riding that wave of Rams beating the Seahawks. They're coming off that loss. Rams are the best team in the NFC. I don't care about that loss of the Cardinals. I'm not putting anything into that game. Matt Stafford's going to win the MVP. Kyler Murray is going to fall off. The Rams are going to have a big bounce back game here against the Seahawks. The
only reason I didn't card this one, DJ, is because it's on Thursday night. And historically on Thursday night, I'm terrible.
Yeah.
I literally, my analysis on this one is chalking it up to it's the NFL, man. It's the Rams coming back after that big time loss against like the game that everyone was wanting to watch, and the Seahawks being underdogs and kind of taking it to the 49ers. So you're getting a break. Like you're taking the recency bias in this one, and you're taking it to your advantage.
Absolutely.
Because I think the Rams should be favored by more.
Oh, I think, and I honestly do. I with my eyes tells me they are the best team in the NFL. Right? Like, period.
Yeah, you can never.
And Robert Woods is going to bust out eventually. So it's like, just wait. Van Jefferson's been apart. Cooper Kupp has been the best, statistic wide receiver right now, and Robert Woods is the most underrated wide receiver every single year, besides Tyler Lockett. Outside of those, and they're playing against each other, oddly, but he's going to have a string of games where he goes off. So settle down, fantasy fans, buy low on this guy, because eventually he's going to string together a bunch of games because everybody's going to go to Kupp eventually. And Robert Woods is a very good wide receiver.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, and I'm not even low on Seattle. I still like Seattle.
Yeah.
It's just I think you're getting like we talk about like getting like a discount price on like a player that you're buying low on. I think you're getting a discount price on the Rams here because of what happened to both these teams last week. So that's going to be one of those deals, man. I'm not going to be able to resist. I'm going to bet a little bit on the Rams, and then I'm going to be like you, and I'm going to find a stupid ass 3-player parlay, and I'm going to lose both of them, and I'm going to have to make all my money back on Saturday and Sunday. But man, it's been working out.
I need to remember to tweet my college football picks, but it's so hard because I continually bet throughout the day and I'm doing shit. I literally went 15-3 myself, and me and my buddy went 20-something and 4 overall on Saturday. It was unbelievable.
I hate that
Hold
you
on.
guys merge each other.
My antivirus protection expired. Hold on, I have to fix this.
Well, fade DJ this week. You're not even protected anymore.
Oh yeah,
Shit.
I'm actually going to his house, and we're gonna be doing the same thing we did last week. Hopefully, winning and doing
Butt
the
stuff?
same combining of bets. So it'll be
Butts.
fun.
You're gonna combine butts.
Yep.
Oh, nice. So you had 0.2 unis on that
0.2
one. I've got
unis.
0.2 unis on this one. It's my 2 team teas of the week. I lost the first one of the year. I don't think I've lost yet, or lost since, I should say. I'm taking the Vikings down to being favored by 2.5 against the Lions, and I'm bumping the Patriots to be favored by 2.5 against the Texans. Still a believer in the Vikings. I still think they're a pretty solid football team. I don't feel the same way about the Lions. That game against the Browns, it's kind of one of those you kind of got to throw it away. It was a disappointing game at home that they need to shake off, and who better to shake it off against than the freaking Lions? I don't chalk this up to the Vikings losing by any more than or winning by any less than like 7. So if I can bump this down to a field goal, I'm all in on it. And the Patriots, I kind of see the same way. Yeah, maybe I was a little high on New England after that week 1, even though they lost. Maybe I overplayed them a little bit. But let's keep in mind here, it's the Texans. Did you see some of the stats that the Texans put up against the Bills last week?
No, but I saw the score of the game. Wasn't it like 40-0?
In the first half, like if you add up the like number of like sack yards against what they actually had for passing yards, I think they were like 1 yard or -1 yard passing in the first half.
Wow.
It was terrible. His QBR was like 0.7. It was an unbelievable just display of defense by the Bills, and just anemic's not even an appropriate enough word to describe the Texans offense, because it's 10 times worse than whatever you can come up with besides anemic. And I still think like Patriots are playing with adrenaline alone in that game against Tampa Bay. Like Tampa Bay's not only 2 points better than New England. I thoroughly get that. But they're going to have to start winning pretty soon. It's the same situation the Vikings are in. What better way to bounce back after a loss than getting to play the Texans? The only reason I'm not going more on this one is it feels like it's too easy. And usually when something feels too good or too easy, it freaking is. So, DJ, all my plays this week are 0.2 units. I'm not messing with it. If it ain't broke, don't fuck with it. I'm going 0.2 units on this teaser.
I feel like 2 team teasers are like and I probably should do them more confidence than say this. Maybe the easiest things in the world. You just find the 2 easiest.
Do it.
It's no fun. Speaking of, do I have more games yet?
No, that we combined so many that you don't have any more. But
good. So I can say what I was going to say.
You can.
Speaking of, my money line parlay was 1 game away again, and the stupid ass Titans without AJ Brown and Julio Jones, who
that's what fucked you. The Jets got you.
Yes, and I lost a teaser as well, which would have made me money that day. Those 2 bets because of the Titans. All the Titans had to do was either tie the game for me to win my teaser, or knock the parlay game. If they would have made that field goal, that parlay's still alive because it just knocks it down 1 game, and my teaser hits because I was plus 1.5.
Oh, that is brutal, man.
Yeah.
I have a season-long bet on the Titans, and every week that passes by, I'm like, their division sucks.
Yeah,
they'll be fine. They'll run into some
win
wins. But then they lost to the Jets. And granted, I know they didn't have their main guys at wide receiver, but still, that was brutal. So DJ, does that mean are you teasing another money line parlay of the week here?
Teasing another party. Oh, yes, I am. That was confusing in gambling terms. Oh, yes. It's not a tease, but he's teasing. It is a money line parlay. I just clicked it. I thought it was going to be way more than this because the biggest money line favorite is the Bucks this week, and the rest are pretty damn close. It's a tough one.
Yeah, notice that.
The Vikings. That's crazy. The Vikings are less than the Bucks over the Lions. How does that make you? I mean, the Vikings money line.
I know what you're
is
going
minus
at.
430, and the Buccaneers against the Dolphins are minus 515.
Real quick before you talk about your teams, you know why I'm excited for Sunday is because it's hopefully I should knock on wood here. It's hopefully the last game I'll have to watch of Jacoby Brissett this year.
I don't know why you don't want your best quarterback on the field.
Can I mute you?
No.
Give me your money line parlay of the week, you filthy fuck.
My money line parlay, which should have hit again for the third week in a row, is going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Don't blame you.
Then it gets tight. It's the Carolina Panthers, the Los Angeles Chargers, the Dallas Cowboys, and then wait, I put the wrong team in here. That's
Oh
why
man.
that's why it's low. Shit, I like to do 5 teams.
Now you're teasing it again. What'd you do? Only put in 4?
No, I did. I put the wrong 5th team. I meant to put this one. There we go.
Now we party.
Now it gets higher. So it's plus 1204. Buccaneers, Panthers, Chargers. I said Cowboys, right?
Yep.
And the San Francisco 49ers.
49ers.
In the money line parlay, plus 1204. That's going to be, 100 to win $1,240. Hit confirm. Lock that shit in. I put the bet in. We're winning. We're winning. We're winning. We will not get beat. I will not put the Titans into this one. I almost did.
Yeah, don't do that.
They won it for me last second 2 weeks ago. They lost it for me this last second this last week. I'm not going to mess with them. They're making it too stressful. I'm going to let the Niners take care of the Cardinals this week. And one other thing I want to say to you is, wasn't football so much better to you when your team was 1-0 and my team was 0-1?
I've found myself.
Remember week 1?
DJ, this is a sad omission. In the offseason, I can't stop refreshing Twitter just to get Dolphins news.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's who completed a ball in training camp or who's practicing today. Now,
so
after you lose to the Colts with your second string freaking quarterback and the shittiest offensive line, I hit refresh like once a day. Like the news. I'm like, okay, what are you going to depress me with? It's true. The off season is my Super Bowl. That's when I'm at peak readiness. And
I tell you this every year. Like you get all excited, and I like to
every fucking year. And we talked about
only one of us that should ever be excited going into the season, and I just go in calmly, knowing what's going to happen.
Next year, I'm not even going to say words in the off season. Like I'm not going to say the D word, Dolphins. Like I'm not going to talk about getting your shades ready. I'm going to wait till about week 8.
And hopefully he comes.
All right, where's your mute button again? God damn it.
That was a good one. Hopefully he comes.
Oh, wow. That was really good. You said D word and Deshaun and comes.
Yes,
wow.
I did.
Okay, we talk about never ending on the hangover, and we didn't that time. We ended on the good drunk. So DJ, anything else before we wrap this puppy up?
Friday Night Lines, as always, Friday night. Fair
enough. All right, I am going to tell you to check us out on Twitter at Loaded Box and check out our website, loadedboxpodcast.com. Easy for me to say. All of our podcast episodes, our start sit articles, our dynasty trade articles, our waiver wire articles, everything you need is there. Next episode, we'll be doing the same thing, but for week 6. Check out Friday Night Lines, as DJ cannot say correctly. That'll be on Friday, as the title says. We're available everywhere. DJ, enjoy your pizza. Everyone else, subscribe, rate, review, unsubscribe, and then resubscribe, and then rate and review again. And then DJ, go ahead and send us out.
Bye.